Presentation: Perceptions and Culture by Oscar Peláez, Colorado Christian University. Part 1. Perceptions. Into the part 1 we had the first question is, what is web-based social connection? Social connection and social psychology work together. Both focus on how people process, store, and apply information about other people and social situations. In this case is by using the web. Using media, web-based, people interact with each other and share their cultural values. Also, they formalize connected relations through social interactions. Social connected theory has 4 processes of goal realization, which are self-observation, self-evaluation, self-reaction, and self-efficacy. The 4 components are interrelated and all have effects on motivation and goal attainment. How culture relate to our perceptions? Different cultures have different views of reality, in which the better perspective to understand other cultures is when it's classified by the following questions. We need to confront the culture, to observe and analyze its behaviors. We need to complain of the culture. When you do the observations, if you do not agree with the point of view of that culture, you will isolate from people. You need to adapt to the culture. Your method of positive comments of that culture will make you adapt to its society and to another positive behavior. There is a quote from Thomas Hobbes that says, government is necessary not because man is naturally bad, but because man is by nature more individualistic than social. Our next question is, discuss whether these perceptions vary across cultures. Every culture has different moral and ethical values, ways to perceive things, and ways to interact with ethical principles. The biosociocultural reality plays a vital information in the way the individual sees and understands his society. His quote, the lens with your eyes see the world change your reality. If you can change the lens, not only you can change the way your brain perceives behaviors, but you can change the way people confront their differences. And that is a very powerful statement. Diversity is a powerful thing. In the way in companies, staff boards that are composed of diversity genders perform, according to statistics, 15% better than boards of a single gender. Besides, boards that are composed of different cultures perform 35% better, according to the statistics, than those composed of one culture. That means diversity is a powerful tool that used today and is used today on most modern technological corporations. Part 2. Cultures. Our introduction for cultures, I put this part that says what psychology does. When we're talking about social psychology, psychology describes behavior, explain behavior, predict and change behavior. St. Augustine gives us a quote that says, patience is the companion of wisdom. So to describe a behavior, so what psychology does? Psychology is the scientific study of the mind and behavior. What it usually does is to bring results of many challenges in human actions and behaviors. The essential purpose of psychology are to describe a behavior by using methodologies of observation, to explain a behavior by finding the roots of causation from data obtained from different resources like questionnaires, and apply that data through scientific scales used to interpret quantitative results, to predict the behavior. By knowing in the positive aspect most of the instincts that comes from a healthy mindset for an individual. Psychology also changes the behavior in people's lives by gathering powerful combination of results or information and uploaded into a usable patterns to approach psychotherapy solutions that includes a genetic approach, psychological approach, and biosociocultural approach, and give results to the individual. But that being said, overall, we need to understand that we are in a social world in which we all need to interact with each other. Psychology and sociology have a vital role to help societies on human behaviors. So it can be said that cross-cultural shared knowledge could bring a biased outcome within any organization, regardless of the type of society, even if in general the statistics prove more positive results than negative. Our next question is, compare and contrast some difference between cultures. My culture is from Colombia, and I decided to compare to America. What America has an advantage to our culture? Americans have many good things. Their cultures have diversity. It's the only nation in the whole world that has all the cultures in it. And that made it powerful because it brings different ideas and different innovations. Americans support talents regardless the age. If someone has a talent, the American people support it. That doesn't happen in our nation. Americans invest in technology. Most all wars in which this country is or was interacting, America has overcome by sophisticated technology. It's a demanding issue that challenges any nation of the world to protect their countries. Americans also nurture their children and spend a dedicated time to them, to take care of them, and to lay down a strong foundation so they can move forward. That's another thing that we don't have. Americans calculate or try to administrate correctly how many kids they wanted to have in order to support them to the university and everything they need. In our culture, we don't measure how many kids we have. We just love children. And it's good on one hand, but on the other hand, it's very high costly to maintain a big family. And that creates a struggle financially for the family. So our country has a big challenge in the way the nurture and the way the technology is being approached. And another thing the American has is a good, stable democracy. Also, America is a caregiver. They are I guess it's the number one country in the world that give more charity for poor nations around the globe. And we can continue saying many things about these differences. The bottom line is that our nation is really way behind compared to the American culture. Lastly, this is the question, how this research changed my feeling or my impressions about this culture? Yes, it has changed it. It has changed it to understand that we need to set our goals correctly and be united as a nation and have more education the way we raise our families. Plato said human behavior flows from three sources: desire, emotion, and knowledge. Thank you for listening to this video clip. My name is Oscar Peláez for Colorado Christian University.